look at what God has done for me. Oh, look at what God has done for me. They sent me another letter again. Sorry, that letter was sent in error. I was like, no, you don't know my error. Fire, you cannot change it. Papa said it cannot be reversed. My name is on that list. My name is on that list. I was just declaring. I was like, who be the wrong person? I don't go tell this by testimony to now. What God cannot do. What God cannot do. My testimony is a testimony of, do you know my error? What happened was in 2024, a friend of mine came to meet me and told me that there was this exam he wrote. And the exam was a bit hard, but he passed. But for you to pass the exam, for you to get the scholarship, you have to have connection. You have to know one or two people. You have to talk to one or two people or sort out. I said, do you know my error? Do you know my error? I will get this scholarship and I'll come and share my testimony. He said, hey, come out. You're always sharing, you are praying on NSPPD. Let's see what will happen. So that 2024 passed because it's every year they do it. So 2025, I applied. It got to a stage, and when I wanted to fill the form, there was a particular letter they asked me for. I said, I didn't know that they would ask me for this letter. Or I don't have this letter. So I just said, okay, let me just fill it like that and just submit. And it allowed me to submit. That was number one testimony. Lo and behold, as I submitted, in my mind, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me not test Elroy with this one. I will test Elroy with 2026 own. Because this one, there's no letter yet. So let me not. But lo and behold, somebody came and was telling us in the office that, see, this letter, they have sent him a letter to come and write the exam. That he's going to go and write it the next day. I said, okay, let me secretly go and check my own in the office so that nobody will know that I even applied in the first place. May I not go for error in hand. Lo and behold, I checked. I was shortlisted. I was like, okay, God is doing this one. So it was 2 days to my exam. I was like, 2 days for this exam that I say is very hard. I said, God, take control. They sent me past question. I'll open the past question. I will open it. I will slip off. Lo and behold, on the day of the exam, I was just shouting, what God cannot do, what God cannot do does not exist, what God cannot do does not exist. I remember what our Papa used to say, that your name will be on that list. Your name will be on that list. I said, God help me. So I got to the exam hall. As I sat down, I was still praying what God cannot do. Lo and behold, they now opened the screen that you should put your registration number. I say, God, I want to put you first. I just write, what God cannot do does not exist. I clicked it. It showed the error message. I said, okay, God, I've sent you in. Let me now put my own registration number. I now put my registration number and I logged in. When I saw the questions were looking like Swahili. Which kind of question is it? I said, Elroy, I've already posted with you. Now they already know I'm going to go and write this exam. Please take control. Lo and behold, as I was there, you know that skit that looked like when they say an angel appeared and was telling the woman, this is to God who made me. It was as if from my heart, I was hearing, pick this answer, pick this answer, pick this answer, pick this answer. As I was, hey! Do you know my error? As I was picking it, because the exam, as soon as you finish writing the exam, they'll show you your score to tell you whether you failed or passed. So if you just go home if you know that you failed. So Lord, I finished and they told me you passed. You are moving to the next stage. I said, okay. All good. So the next stage was supposed to be some weeks later, like 2 weeks later. So 2 weeks later, by that time, I've already gotten the letter that I didn't get before. I went there. I was supposed to be, it was an oral interview. I was supposed to be interviewed 7:30 in the morning. I went there, I presented my letter. One guy said, no, this letter, you're supposed to do like this. I said, you don't know that I've been working with Elroy since. This one now, you want to stop me here. So lo and behold, I was writing, I was telling him, sir, this letter is authentic. Look at it. If you want, I can show you online. This letter is authentic. He said, no. That he wants a letter. So another woman just looked at him. He said, why are you stressing that? But what is the problem? He said, the guy does not have letter. He said, okay, you know what? Let me see the letter. I said, this letter is authentic. Allow him to do the oral. I now entered. Something that I was supposed to do by 7:30, I did it by 2:30. As I got there, I sat down. The people look at me. I said, well, I was already looking. I was already disheveled and all that. I was like, what's going on? God, please. I need I say, during that period, between the 7:30 to the 2:30, a prayer partner and a friend was with me there. He also got the invite. He was not telling me that, see, don't give up, because I already given up. I said, God, I've already got it to this stage. It's already a testimony already. But please, were telling me, don't give up, just hold on. And I held on. Then 2:30, I did this. They asked me a question and I answered. Brethren, The next time I was hearing, I opened my email and I saw, congratulations. You have been shortlisted for this scholarship. Come with this following document and come and pick your award letter and your money. I was like, God, thank you. As I was sharing, I was telling everybody, oh, look at what God has done for me. Oh, look at what God has done for me. They sent me another letter again. Sorry, that letter was sent in error. I was like, no, you don't know my error. Fire, you cannot change it. Papa said it cannot be reversed. My name is on that list. My name is on that list. I was just declaring. I was like, who would be the wrong person? I don't go tell this by testimony to now. When what lo and behold, within 2 days, they sent me another letter again. Say, please, you have been shortlisted. This is the letter there. You have been shortlisted for this. Bring this whole thing. And I went there and I did the award ceremony and I was paid my scholarship money. What God cannot do, guess what? There are some people that use connection to get in. Till now, they have not been paid. But look at me. I have been paid. What God cannot do, somebody shout error. Somebody shout error. Do you know my error?